Hello, RoahmMythril here once again, and it's time for another Durgon one-off. This time we're going to be playing Path of Achra. This game was gifted to me by my good friend Kit, so thank you very much for that, Kit. He summed this up as being kind of the ultimate theory crafting game, in which, when you start a run, you have three particular choices, and you have to see how well you can make them work for a run. So, let's go for it. So at the start of each run, you pick a race, a class, and a god. Any that I have here that have a little pink star next to them, like this, it means I have finished a run with that particular choice. So yeah, we're going to try three new ones. Now there are a couple of classes and a couple of gods that I don't have yet. So let's see here. Let's go with Skeleton. Their main thing is they have a lot of resistances, however they are weak to astral attacks. And per item and bag, they gain armor and block equal to your glory, which is your overall experience level. So we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with Warrior. So they have all that starting equipment there, and their main thing is Poise. On game turn, you apply 7 Poise to yourself. You remove a little bit each time you move. However, every Poise stack you have is plus 5 armor, plus 5 block, and plus 10 accuracy. And as far as a god... let's try this one. Palace. Prayers grant healing, deal pierce damage, and upgrade your offhand weapon. So, yeah. On attack or block, if single-handing, deal pierce damage to 2 enemies in a 2-tile range. Damage is 10% of your offhand hit. On picking up a shield, transform it into a hoplon. Hit doubled, block doubled, weapon size set to 6. Also transforms your class weapon if it is a shield, which we do have one. So let's see. What are your prayers like? Okay, first prayer is heal yourself. Heal is equal to your block. Gain plus 50% block chance if this prayer is fully charged, plus 1 charge when you enter a new area, okay? 5 max charges deal 50 pierce damage to the closest enemy, repeat an amount of times equal to your total weapon size, plus 1 charge when you block. And finally, permanently upgrade your offhand item, plus 30 base hit and plus 30 block, upgrades main hand if no offhand is equipped, plus 1 charge when you enter a new area. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Hear this, little pilgrim. The land recalls its evisceration in the shockwave, a rippling path worm-trenched of Surtmere armies. Rush of chilling fire, now dead. Now the obelisk, its lofty shimmer, inflamed warbands, shadows, a wandering scream. Devastated histories, fragment. Hoplon, shield. Shield transformed by Palace. Alright. And we start with a level. When you level up, you can choose Strength, Dex, Willpower, or Vigor. Vigor isn't really tracked. This is more of an emergency stat up. It gives you more life and heals you if you're doing really bad. So generally, you want to stick to the others. For now, I think I'm going to go with Strength. Alright, we also have 10 points that we can put into skills. So, you have a lot of elements in this game. You have martial, fire, lightning, poison, death, ice, astral, I think this one is psychic, life, and blood. So one thing in this game among the achievements and feats for the game is to do purity runs, in which you only stick to one particular element. And I have a few that I've gotten through this with. I've gotten purity, I think, from martial, poison, ice, and astral. Let's go fire this time. So let's see what we have here. A lot of the builds that I've gotten through the game with can be summed up as my strategy being deploy the boys. So I tend to like summoning type runs. For now, I'm going to get Fire Familiar. We'll put 1 level into that. Let's see. Shamsar sounds like it could be good. And I accidentally put an extra level in it, but that's fine. So we have 10 points into fire right now. Alright, and as far as our current equipment, we have some basic armor that doesn't have anything special about it. Let's see, we have the Spatha. On attack, apply 5 poise to yourself. That's nice. And let's see, the Hoplon, gain 50% block chance. Alright. So now, let's actually get in there and start fighting some enemies. So we already get another level up. Add some more strength. Strength is good because that makes it so you're not as easily encumbered. You get encumbered if you're wearing too much armor to where it's a greater number than your overall strength. Like, looking at this right now, yeah, I have an encumbrance of 22, but I only have 10 strength. And when you're encumbered, you lose speed and dodge. That's a bit of an issue. But we've made it through this floor. And you get another point for skills every time you level up. So, the more levels we get, the more skills we can learn, and we can really get our build going. Like I said, I have no idea how well or how badly this build is going to do. We'll start seeing as we get further into the run. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to keep doing that. We need strength. The bags that you can find, those are extra items. So, we found the Skull Helm, a helm crafted from the skull of a fallen bare-chested raider, consecrated by the Lokra priesthood. We'll see what that is later. You can't actually change your equipment while in battle. But once the whole floor is lit up like this, and items and the door start sparkling, everything's gone, so it's safe to look at it now. So this resists lightning, death, and psychic. Adds to stacks of any doom applied by you, which I don't have anything that does doom damage, so it's not overly useful. And our current helmet, it has better armor rating on it. Same encumbrance, so I don't know. It's not overly amazing. Toshi, a green cap worn by an ancient missionary of the Filth Valleys. This one I think has to do with poison. On standstill, apply 5 sickness to one enemy at any range. Deal poison damage to all enemies with sickness. This technically could be decent for us, because it gives us other options for attack. Because purity runs, they only care about what skills you learn. Things that you're getting from your armor sets, those don't count against you. So this could let us do some poison damage. It does require me to stand still, though. We'll wait and see what other things I start getting before we truly define where we're going with equipment. So, after you finish a room, or a full area, then you have to pick where you're going next. You have a little preview here, though, that shows you what enemies you'll be running into, as well as what armors and items you can find. So, let's see here. Okay, so this is some psychic stuff. This is fire stuff, but it's doing fire to myself, which I'm not sure how much I want to do that. Golden Greaves, though, could be decent. Let's see what else we have access to, though. This could be good, but it wants to be a two-handed weapon, which this build wants me to use a shield, so yeah, don't know about that. Okay, so that's outright some extra damage. It's also good to look at your enemies and see what they resist. Like here we have something that has a slight resistance to fire. So this may be a bit of a test for us, but we'll see how it goes. So far, we're doing okay. So yeah, overall this game looks deceptively simple, but the sort of customization you have to your builds, it actually goes pretty deep. It's very satisfying in that. Okay, yeah, those were the things that were resisting fire, but we're doing good damage anyway. Hadn't noticed we finished everything on that floor. So the items are always on the final floor of the area. So if you see the bags lying around, then you know you're almost done. So thus far, we're actually doing pretty good damage. Alright, so let's see what all we got. First off, we have 5 points, so I'm going to get some more summoning buddies. Flame Cult. Deploy the boys. Alright, so let's see here. 160 accuracy and hit is slash. So it's slightly less accurate, but does slightly more damage than the Spatha. It does get rid of the poise thing, but we also do extra damage of another type, so this seems like it might be good. Okay, these are if you deal ice damage, which we have nothing that does that. This is just some free lightning damage every time I walk, so yeah, why not? Like I said, this requires us to stand still, which I'm not sure how much I'm going to be doing that, so I might want to hang on to this for now. This would work with this, but also we'd have to replace one of our weapons, which I'm not too interested in doing that right now. So we'll go with this for now. Now, one thing I could go ahead and do, though, is I could sacrifice these gloves and this sword. Doing so will add some extra stats to what I'm actually equipped with, so let's go ahead and do that. Well, that's right. Skeleton actually wants me to keep my bag fairly full. So I'm going to hold off on sacrificing until I have more items to where I'm running out of space. So yeah, we'll wait on that. Okay. I wonder if this might actually be worth going after. A better shield, maybe. Yeah, hammer, that's two-handed. I honestly feel like this is the best one to go after. Check resistances. Okay, you're actually weak to fire. You resist it pretty decently. This area could go either way. But we're going to try for it. We have a nice army we're building up. The more damage types you can do, usually the better, because it gives you options for getting around resistances. Let's see. I also need to remember what this is. So that is a healing spell. Charges up when I enter a new area. May as well use it. Because I haven't been getting through all of this unscathed, that's for sure. But yeah, this can be a nice, fun little game to just have kind of multitasking while doing other things, too. Like the last few days, I've been working on drawing some of my Robot Master ideas while playing this as well. It's just a fun little game to see where a build will go. One of the most ridiculous builds that I've had was the Astral build that I had, because that one was technically built around standing still, except every time I did, I teleported right to an enemy and then just went crazy with Astral spells. So, that was fun. The Hamadrake hisses. Vile seepage, all-consuming. Yeah, when you see a message like that, it just means that the boss is in the area, which, he's right there. But we got past him without too much trouble. Let's see, how's my encumbrance doing? 24, I have 17 strength, so we're getting there. There we go. Okay, I just transformed it into another of those. Okay. So I guess it's always that same shield type, but I wonder if it has different stats. Alright, let's see here. What do we got? Now that's interesting. It does actually have the stats it originally had. However, it adds the gain 50 block chance. Interesting, okay. So this would give me 3 more points of encumbrance, is the issue here. Okay, so that's how that works. Interesting. Because, yeah, a lot of this build is stuff that I have not used before, so I was not actually sure how that works. Now I know. Gonna hold off on skills until I get 1 more point so I can level up the Flame Cult again. Those can be good. Also, I just realized I need to start leveling up willpower, because willpower controls how many allies I'm allowed to summon. So that is kind of an important thing that I need to be doing. That could be good to have, though. But I am a sucker for the Jade Bracers. It would take away the lightning damage I'm doing, though. And also, I'm just saying, Chimera Beetles, they're a pain in the tail. There's also a lot of resistance going on to most of my damage types, except Slash, which I could probably get through here. This would arguably be safer. I'm not really too interested in either of those items, though. Yeah, let's go the safer route. Let's be at least a little smart about this. Okay, so it's good to put into practice, use your healing spells, use up spells that recharge each time you get into a new area. I really should be doing that. Alright, so let's see, how's this work? Yeah, summon amount is 3 times skill level, but it is limited by my willpower. So if I start focusing on leveling that up, we should be getting more of these guys. it does become a bit of a balancing act as to which abilities you start powering up. Okay, I can't see my health meter, that means I'm still at full health. Well, something sure happened to start this floor. It is notable that you can click down here to get a summary of what's going on, but honestly, it goes kind of crazy sometimes, and it's hard to really interpret. It can get overwhelming. So generally, I don't pay too much attention to this, admittedly, and I just kind of run with it and hope that the build goes brr. Which so far it seems to be doing. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to do this one so that I could get the Dread Sash. Less armor than what I have here, but also less encumbrance, and also makes it so that when I deal physical damage, I walk up to an enemy and hit them with my sword, I do additional death damage. So, yeah. This feels like it might be worth it. Alright. You guys are just following me. Okay, anything of interest? Dealing blood or physical damage, which I am doing physical at least. But healing myself for 5 isn't really that much overall. Mask of Blood. Applying bleed, which... Again, we're going with a blood build there. Okay, this applies doom to the target. But I'm pretty happy with the gauntlets I have. Wow, I'm gonna have to deal with the Chimera Beetles. Dealing fire damage to myself, that doesn't sound great. That wants standstill. None of the item choices here are super amazing. Okay, you're at least weak to fire. And there's more items here, so that even if I don't use them, I can use them later for sacrifices, and in the meantime, they're clogging up my bag, which the skeleton actually wants that, so we'll go with this. There's methods to the madness. Yeah, you guys are a problem. And the solution to that problem is sword. You doing okay over there, Mr. Dragon? Apparently so. Excellent. More willpower, more cultists. I love it! And I just realized I didn't heal on the last floor. Whoops. That is one thing, admittedly, I do tend to be bad about, is remembering to use prayers. Though, to be fair, I had a run with a weird build where I actually got through the entire game without using any prayers whatsoever, so... Okay, we're safe. Go ahead and heal up. Get stuff. And get out. Okay. They continue to follow me. They know I don't like them. I do love the red axe, but it's two-handed. We put our dreams away. Hmm, 90 fire resist. That could be a problem. The towers tend to be a little trickier overall, but have better rewards. Again, I just kind of feel like I want to clog up my inventory as much as I can. As playstyles go, it certainly is one. I think overall right now I'm just happy that skeletons have a lot of resistances. Okay. Let's see, do I want any other fire abilities at this point? On dealing fire damage, heal yourself. Probably not a bad thing to have. And now that we're building up some willpower, we're starting to get more fire cultists helping us out, so that's good. Let's see, what was this one again? 50 pierce damage to the closest enemy. Nah. Because it's the unfortunate thing is I'm not sure whether or not there's a good choice for God that works really well with fire. I'm still fairly new to this game, after all. There's a lot that I'm learning with it. But I am very much enjoying my time with it. Because, yeah, while I can level up the Fire Familiar, I think that just levels up damage it does, health it has, things like that. I don't get to summon a second dragon or anything. Let's go ahead and... we'll add another point to this for now. Alright. Doing fairly decently so far. More willpower, please. So far, we're still doing pretty okay. Make sure I heal up. The rook spreads its mighty wings. That one hurt a bit. But we survived. Let's see here. Not entirely sure if I have anything that I want to replace stuff with just yet. This might not be bad. It's less armor than what I'm wearing currently, but also less encumbrance, less inflexibility. Adds a decent set of resists. I'm gonna see how well overall I get stacks of effects on myself during the next floor. We'll see how that goes, but that might be worth considering. Well, okay, we can see here, actually. Which... well, some of these are from enemies, I think. Still not bad overall. Okay. Alright, so that gives a lot of stuff. Not great stuff overall. And, well, this is just summoning rats. This would be a lot of stuff for clogging up the inventory. And you don't resist fire, so yeah, fine. It's saying that it's a forbidden place means this is technically a more difficult thing to go through. However, it will only be one floor. So we'll see how this goes. Because, yeah, you can see already the items are here. You are on the tanky side, I will grant you that. Oh, let's see. Ooh, okay, that actually hurt a good bit. I just realized, I think I burnt a revive. You're granted revives depending on how many of your prayers you have maxed out on charges. And if you die, you are revived, but that spell loses all of its charges. I lost the charge I had on my healing spell. Whew. Okay, we are not in a great position at the moment. Yeah, that's a problem. I still will have another revive thanks to this being maxed out. I haven't been using this prayer any. But the next time this has a charge to it, I'm probably going to want to use it as quickly as possible. Okay, let's power this up again. Okay, now I have a prestige class available. I actually have two possibilities. Pyromaniac requires 25 points in fire. Per stack of Inflame on self, deal plus 5 fire damage. On dealing fire damage, apply 1 Inflame to yourself. Okay. I think I have some stuff that deals with Inflame. So that might be good. Or I have Paragon, requires 25 points in anything. On Standstill, apply to Anoint to yourself. On applying a non-harmful, non-transformation effect to yourself, apply the same effect to a random ally. Applied stacks equals current stacks of that effect on you. Anoint per stack plus 20 hit, plus 10 dodge. I don't know that I really have anything that works with that, so let's go all in on fire. No matter how many Ascended classes you might have the requirements for, you can only pick one per run. And again, you do get credit for finishing a run with a certain thing. Like, for example, I do have credit for finishing a run with Champion here. So, pyromaniac it is. Okay, so let's see here. On dealing fire damage, apply 2 inflame to yourself. That would add it up faster. Let's see here. At this rate, do I maybe want to switch to a standstill build? You know what? Let's see how this goes. We'll use that. And this, on dealing fire damage, apply 2 inflame to yourself. I want inflame, so put that in the offhand. Let's see here. I don't want to do fire damage to myself, though, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Will this be a horrible, terrible mistake? Possibly. You don't have fire resistance. There's a lot of goodies in here. But it's also a forbidden place. You're actually weak to fire. I suppose the important thing is there anything here that I really want? That I'm honestly not sure. Let's make the smart choice. Okay then. We're gonna heal. By pressing the spacebar, you can stand still. And man, yeah, my inflame is going up quickly. Yeah, we've cleared the room. Okay. By that logic, gain armor equal to the total stacks of all effects on self. That's looking tempting. So yeah. I think we have something going here. Which, now that I'm on a standstill build, this is actually useful. Let's see. Because at this point, the lightning gloves, they require me to actually move. But I also don't really have anything better to replace them with right now, I don't think. But we're starting to get something going here, I think. It's certainly not what I set out to do at first, but it's working. How do so many of my builds end up turning into just stand still and let my friends do most of the work while I stand back and just damage from afar? But hey, if it works, it works. I'm certainly not going to complain if things are working, even if it's very silly that they are working. Okay, are any of these of any interest to me? Not really. Okay, this one, though, it's requiring me to do physical damage to set off the death stuff, so it's not actually that good. Not now that I'm standing still and armed with a staff. But again, I don't think I really have anything better to replace it with for the moment. There's these, but again, they require me to move. And I just don't wanna! Let's see here. Those could actually be good. It is unfortunately a tower I have to climb, though, for them. What are we dealing with here? You're weak to fire. You're weak to fire. Nobody resists it. A tower climbing we shall go. Let us merrily burn all the things. Welcome to my Let's Play of the Pyromaniac skeleton wins by doing nothing. But this is just the sort of fun this game can be, that you start out thinking you're going to do one thing, but then you start finding items and weapons that make you think, oh, wait, maybe this could work. And I'm going to continue on with my shenanigans until they prove otherwise. Which currently they have not done. And I am pleased to announce, we can summon more boys. Behold my growing entourage! And this isn't even the most ridiculous I've had for a summoning build. That award goes to the poison build that I was using, in which I was summoning oozes, basically slimes. It was getting to a point where I had synergies to where if a slime died, other slimes got summoned. Enemies being defeated summoned slimes, praying summoned slimes, and in addition to all that, I also had a weapon that was letting me summon snakes. So, yeah, I wasn't feeling lonely on that run. This is very silly. Okay, you're getting dangerously close. Never mind. Okay, I'm at a point where I can't carry anything else. So at this point, we can start sacrificing stuff. Sacrificing will add some stats to what you're actually equipped with, so in this case sacrificing a weapon will strengthen my fire staff. So I'll get rid of a couple of those so that we can pick these up. I believe I am interested in the fire gloves, so we'll swap those out. But yeah, that boss did get through the entirety of my fire cultists. That could be an issue. That's dealing psychic damage. Not too interested in that. Bracers of Command can be good. Unless there's something over here that just really draws me in, which... yeah. Let's see. Okay, you are highly resistant to fire. That could be an issue, but... I really kind of want the Bracers of Command. So now to play everyone's favorite game, was this a mistake? We're doing okay. I just want to see how much this will do. Yeah, that shredded it pretty decently. The only thing is, that spell is charged up by blocking, which, since at this point I'm hiding behind my team mostly, recharging that's going to be a thing. So that might have been a mistake, because that was kind of a revive I was holding on to. But hey, I wanted to see what it would do. And what again was this one? Adds 30 base hit and 30 block to my offhand item. 1 charge when I enter a new area. I mean... that sounds pretty good. Let's see what that did for my offhand. Yeah! That added a good bit of hit and block. Okay, so time to sacrifice some more stuff. We'll sacrifice a few more weapons. Yeah, sacrifice the ice staff to the fire staff. I'm sure that'll be fine. Already full again. That's not the menu I wanted. Let's see here. So yeah, I think I want this. Because yeah, if you have a lot of allies, the Bracers of Command... well, not sure if that's going to come up on my recording, but thank you for letting me know about Windows 11, which I don't want. Man, I wish there was a button for stop reminding me about this. That's going to be interesting to see on the recording. I really wish you could turn that off. The annoyances of Windows sometimes. But anyway, as I was saying, if you have a summon-heavy build, the Bracers of Command are really good because they start strengthening your allies. Okay, this is a forbidden place. Not sure that any of the items here really call out to me all that much. So again, it may just be looking for whatever floor gives me the most that I can sacrifice. Let's go with this. It is a forbidden place, but these things don't resist fire. And we're already done. I'm so used to sacrificing items as soon as I get them and not keeping my bag so full. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Okay. Alright. We're getting close to the end of the first map, anyway. Because, yes, it does go further. Has to deal death damage. Not interested. Pants, from what I've noticed, tend to be a bit of a problem as far as finding good ones for a build. You don't resist fire. Okay, let's see. And yeah, sacrificing helmets, that adds more armor to your helmet. Gloves to add more armor to your gloves, etc., etc. It makes sense. I think I need to sacrifice one more in order to pick everything up in the room. That was a very delayed attack. Okay, yeah, that's not the staff I had that was summoning snakes. That was something else. I mean, you don't resist fire. That's becoming the mantra of this run. Look, I just think the otherworldly cosmic serpent should have fire insurance. That's all it is. I'm concerned for them. That's all this is. I'm just a very aggressive insurance skeleton. That's it. It's nothing personal, I just need to make my sales quota. You're weak to fire. You don't resist it. Deploy more! The tragic part of this run is I'm an insurance skeleton that can't find good pants. But I am patient, and I will just stand there until they say yes. Yes, it's almost 5 in the morning, and I haven't slept yet, so I'm in a very silly mood. Okay. Moving on. I mean, technically I can do pierce damage with Doru, but, it doesn't really seem that useful overall. Oh, what are these? I have to deal blood damage for that one. Yeah, nothing really helpful here. Though at the same time, I'm doing fairly decently with what I have. So technically, I may not need pants. There's an out-of-context phrase for you. But it makes sense in the game. And that's the important thing. I mean, technically, that is actually another style of build, is to try to have as many empty armor slots as possible. There are actually builds that want you to do that. Almost missed an item. The Star Staff is the one I wanted on my Astral build that time, and they just wouldn't give me one. So yeah, I don't have a choice here, so we may as well just go for it, though. Okay, finally, there's some good pants. So there's something nice to look for in here. And there is more game beyond this, so it will actually be good to have it. I'm just gonna sit here. I think perhaps it is the fact that I tend to end up with these kinds of builds. That's why I can multitask and work on drawings while doing this. We're not quite at the final floor yet. But we're getting there. You know what? Let's power up the dragon a little bit. Why not? Sometimes with summoning builds you will just get something that ridiculous that the floor is empty before you even technically get a turn, just because of everything that gets summoned as you start the new floor. Which is hilarious in its own way. But yeah, like I said, I keep ending up with standstill builds, but the game lets it work, so... If they're going to let me get away with shenanigans, I will happily shenanigan. That's just the way of things. Like I said, until the game proves me otherwise, this is what we're doing. Floor's done. Sacrifice a few things so I can pick stuff up. Okay, that's the one I actually wanted to wear, I believe. Yeah, on dealing fire damage, 25% of the damage is dealt again as astral damage. So fashionable! Okay, yeah, that is a fire weapon, but it wants to be two-handed. Which I'm pretty happy with what I've got right now. Okay, I believe that's everything here. So, with that, it's on to the end game. This is where things start getting serious and it turns into, so how well did you build? Heavy fire resistance. On both of them. You, on the other hand, are weak to fire, so this is probably a safe one to go with. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Usually by the time you get to these areas, you'll have weapons that have been powered up by sacrifices to where it's unlikely you're going to replace your equipment. So at this point it's basically just a run to the finish, more or less. Pretty much, if you didn't build quite right, if you have some sort of weakness, these are the floors that are going to find those weaknesses. Nothing here resists fire, but also you have 80,000 life. That is a lot to tank through, and I have underestimated you before. Because honestly, I would like to just finish this run. Okay, everything here is weak to fire. That's tailor-made for me. Infiltrate and burninate! Hire more cultists! That could never be a bad idea. We're getting close to the end. I only have one choice here. Which, thankfully, nothing that resists fire. In fact, something that's weak to it. You know, come to think of it, I was criticized for not referencing it in the Vampire Survivors one-off when I had a lot of fire weaponry, so, fire on! The flames of justice will find you! That's how this works, right? What was that weapon called? Okay, level of tired. I read that as Rebel Jambalaya. Oh, man. Yeah, I should probably go to bed after this. But I just wanted to get something recorded. And so why not one of my current I'm obsessively playing this games? Sacrifice the Rebel Jambalaya! Just want to see what's on here. Oh, it's two-handed. Okay, so time to move on to the final area, which the final boss is the King of Many Colors, which he randomizes what he resists. So, again, I'm fortunate he did not choose fire. We do, however, have this that resists fire by quite a bit. So we'll see how this goes. And of course also the King of Many Colors has a lot of health to eat through, so there is that. The army is getting through them slowly. Yeah, those things are going to be my big problem here, it looks like. But we made it. I can at least use that once per floor. I should have been using that more. Like I said, I'm still relatively new to the game. I've been playing a lot of it, but there are still some mechanics that I have trouble remembering, like there are certain prayers I should be using on every floor, because they recharge as soon as you go to the next floor. So that's on me. Deploy more boys. Everybody line up and destroy. Oh, something actually managed to hit me. But I also have fire healing, so, yeah. I think this build is working. It doesn't feel like it should be, but it is. The King of Many Colors appears. O disciples. I'm guessing he's up there in that corner, though I don't have line of sight with him. And considering I just got 2 level ups, I think that was him. Yeah, floor clear. Victory! Praise Palace! A strange portal beckons, but a path has yet to be revealed. You won 92 glory. Lovely. O pilgrim, pride of Pallas, of the cosmic struggle, of the receding waters, of legendary heat, master of the burning hand, thy spirit inflamed. Deep was the suffering of night. Glorious Achra! So let's see, stat-wise. 243 game turns passed, performed 179 attacks, stood still 294 times, prayed 27 times, received 1 divine intervention. Yeah, that was the time I got healed by my healing spell emptying itself. Dealt 1,424,584 total damage. Highest damage was 2,818 fire. Took 3,337 total damage. Received 3,193 total healing. Highest applied effect, 289 in flame. Killed 501 enemies. Summoned 673 allies. 202 enemies were killed by allies. Killed 8 allies. Yes, friendly fire is a thing. There are even builds based around that. But, victory! Ikshana unlocked, the divine eye that once stood at the end of the star path, now sealed in glimmering stone. Summons enchanted prismas of the 3 sacred hues. Okay. Upwat unlocked, a hunter of the eastern desert, blessed with a sacred jackal shape. Okay. I haven't tried any of the builds that involve transformations. Abdi unlocked. Isn't that the name of a grocery chain? Or is that Albi or something like that? A fighter trained in a sacred battle art by mountain priests, channels piety into offensive power. And Azdaha unlocked, the stone goddess of draconic transformation whose body dwells deep within the mountain temple lands. Blesses followers with a fearsome drake form. Okay, so another transformation thing. And with that, I seem to have all the classes, gods, and races unlocked, so now I can just take whatever build I want. Lovely. But anyway, that is the Path of Achra. Very fun game. It's cool to just see how well a build can go, and like we saw here, sometimes it can just change mid-path and still work out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you again next time. Until then, buy fire insurance or the fire insurance skeleton will find you.